Hi, everyone. Welcome to Source Snack Break. I am Ren with Source. Today is Wednesday, July 29th. Before we get started, I'll explain a couple things about the webinar tool. So you're all muted automatically, but you do have access to the live chat there on the right. So you can pop in your favorite emoji to try it out. You can also use the live chat to ask questions or comment, and we'll make sure we answer any questions you have. So be sure to bring those on. We love it. Our guest today is an amazing resource, so he can answer any questions you've got. Today's guest is Don with Shaw Contract, one of my favorite people. Hey, Don.
Good job.
Can you tell us a little bit, before we get started, can you tell us a little bit about your background and what you specialize in, and then a little bit about Shaw as a company?
So I've been with Shaw for, it's running up on 23 years now with Shaw Contract. So
wow.
Been a wonderful company to work for and really forward thinking. My background has been in floor covering even beyond that. So I often tell people, it reminds me of Godfather 3 when Al Pacino said, every time I try to get out, they pull me back in. So I've enjoyed a long period of time of selling floor covering and being in the floor covering industry. So
nice. And do you specialize in a particular area of flooring these days?
Yes, I do. Well, when I started, I was focused on institutional markets, but as the years have gone by, I've really enjoyed working in the healthcare segment. That has been really fleshed out for me now. In the last few years, I've acute care, senior living, and healthcare markets are my specialty.
Awesome.
I dabble in a few other little areas, but that's my primary time spent.
Awesome. I'm really excited to chat about that with you, and especially to get your insights on sort of like trends you're seeing or ways designers, just your experience in like how designing healthcare has changed, because I feel like it has come a long way. And so I'm really excited to dive in that with you. So we're going to take a look at a couple different new lines from Shaw. Can you chat about them just briefly about sort of what these collections are? Yeah.
Yeah, so our design teams and our design council really been getting feedback about sort of the dearth of products that coordinate together, the plank and the sheet goods. So we took a very careful approach to the introduction of this collection, which is Abide, LVT, and Inhabit sheet. They are designed to work together. They share the same thicknesses, so they go together seamlessly without transitions, and they have a little bit different design aesthetic. I'm happy to announce it's a collection that doesn't have 50% of the colors in gray. So,
what a revolutionary thing to say.
It's been a very, very popular, colorway to work with, but you'll notice as you look through some of these beautiful images that are supplied in the folders that really has that contemporary, clean, warm tones, very Scandinavian influence. The images themselves are not heavily embossed and registered, so you're not going to get lots of texture to it. It's very subtle, and the color variations are what we consider slight to moderate color variations. So very calming, very comfortable looking collection of colors and aesthetic.
Got it. And before we sort of dive in, is that a trend that you're seeing with healthcare, that they want more natural looks? What has been your experience in, like, when you started doing healthcare, like what was the cool thing then? And like, what's the cool thing now?
Well, and a lot of it has changed because the realization that caring for the product is also important. And we're especially seeing that now. That's really pushed that out of it. But in the early days, it was all about multicoloring. It was hiding not addressing it or dealing with it, but hiding all the sins that fell on the carpet. Modular was barely kind of creeping in, but for the most part, end users wanted things that could be seamlessly put together. So 6-foot or 12-foot goods that could be bonded together and create moisture barriers. We're seeing now is hard surfaces really taking over most of those segments. I mean, it used to be about a third of the acute care space was soft surfaces. Now we're down to about 20%.
Oh, wow.
As Resilient really takes over that space, and especially with the idea of maintaining it, keeping it clean, and creating a safe environment.
Got it. Okay. So let's take a look here at these products. I love that it is not just wood or stone, like you said, that there's a couple different looks that you can sort of mix and match. Is that something you're seeing with designers now, that they really do want to mix and match sort of tones and patterns, sort of create an overall look without having to like pick from a bunch of different binders and like figure out how do they all go together?
Right. Yeah, it's the reality is time is still a precious commodity, and spending endless hours trying to source a variety of products is very time consuming, and it's not the best use of time. So yeah, we're looking for products that can go together, that don't require different types of installation techniques, and are appropriate for the space.
Awesome. So that like not only cuts down on installation, but it also cuts down on the time you have to spend writing a spec, because you don't have to say different things for different things. You can just say all of this goes down the same way. It's one installer. Let's do this.
Right. And with the move towards eliminating transitions, you also eliminate all those little picayune details, but also the pain in the neck that they are over time as they get broken, they shrink, they discolor, they get beat up. It creates a much more seamless, calming atmosphere, because you don't see those garish transitions that are,
especially when it comes to healthcare. I do find that sometimes, like when it comes to universal design, sometimes those transitions are really hard for folks with visual impairments or people just have different mobility. Those things are sometimes very significant for those folks.
Yeah. And you make a good point about about the glare and the reflectivity of products. You're going to see all of our products are matte finish. They're either going to be polish optional or no polish in this segment. So it used to be, shiny equaled clean. That's not the case anymore. In fact, most research has found that, especially with senior residents, whether they be in a senior living facility or in a acute care environment, it actually prevents them from healing faster because they're afraid to get out of bed.
Oh, because they think they're going to slip because it might be slippery.
Exactly. So
interesting.
So while these products tend to be more expensive than some of the less expensive products that everyone was putting polish on, there's a dramatic savings on the back end on the maintenance of these products that only require microfiber mopping, occasional, wet cleaning that doesn't require layer upon layer of finish.
Got it. That's awesome. And so when you talk about having no transitions, how do these products get installed? Are they glue down, or are they with your lock dots? I always forget what your name for them are. Everyone has a different name for their lock dots. They're so cute. But like, how can a designer sort of mix and match patterns? Can they do curves? Like, how does that kind of work?
Curves are always fun. It's always fun to draw them on a plan. If they execute it, that's really where you have to get the right contractor who knows how to efficiently do that. Sometimes you do the water jet cutting that makes a more precision image for you on the floor. In those cases, it's typically much more effective if you're using sheet goods to do that, and you'll heat weld those seams together. So this sheet good, we recommend it being heat welded. We have a variety of adhesives that could be used on it. All of them give underbed warranties. So for that twisting and turning of the product, all of them are going to give at least a 10-year warranty underbed.
Nice.
We do have a spray adhesive that in the occupied space is really the one we recommend. It allows you to get back on the floor within 12 hours for light traffic and 24 hours for heavy traffic. Most of the other systems that are out there are 24 to 72 hours. So wow. Really makes it difficult to bring an ICU or setting back up and working.
Yeah.
As far as the transitions between the sheet goods and the plank, we actually have a product that we call Lockworks, and it will. And I think that was one of the attachments that I provided to you that to make available, or rather, not Lockworks, but Lockscene. They'll actually bond those two products together, and will provide a moisture barrier between those two products, so you don't have to have some sort of subtle transition. That will also work with carpet and sheet goods, or carpet and LVT.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. So no longer do you have to have those, like that section in the back of the binder with transitions. You're slowly moving away from that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Some people still love like Schluter metal. That's an effective way, and that's kind of a bespoke accessory look, I think, which is kind of in a different category necessarily than a necessary transition.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about antimicrobials, which seems very, very hot these days. You sent me some literature about Shaw's position about antimicrobials. Can you talk a little bit about sort of the research y'all have done and what your recommendations are?
Yeah, so it's kind of an inside baseball, question. Most people, it doesn't come up in the design process, but a lot of times your clients are asking about those things. The simple truth is we have not found them to be, 100% effective against all microbial and all bacteria. So the question really is, what efficacy does the product have? Many of the antimicrobials also have some environmental challenges, and we're hearing from many sources that they're concerned about those kinds of chemistries being in the product.
Yeah.
So we have taken the position that many government organizations like the CDC have come out with and said and removed antimicrobials from our products.
Awesome.
What we have done on top of that is really look at our maintenance procedures, and we've actually created a document for our clients with enhanced cleaning techniques. Still, the best effective way to have a clean environment is effective hot water extraction on carpet, and the appropriate types of cleaning chemistries for hard surface. We're testing also the UV systems that are widely used in hospitals. We're finding mixed results with those, especially when it comes to things that, areas where it may not reach within a room, or things that might be underneath other items that are in the room. So we're trying to come up with a position on those types of cleaning methodologies as well.
Awesome. I really appreciate that y'all have done this research, especially as it relates to your own products. Something I'm hearing a lot of research with folks like Parsons Healthy Material Lab, or the Green Building Network, or whatever it is. They are finding that these antimicrobials sometimes not only don't work, but they also, like you said, have those environmental sort of problems, but also are detrimental to human health, which is kind of defeats the purpose of making a healthier space to heal in. And so I just want to let designers know that you can search for antimicrobial free and free of antibacterial additives on our site, because we are hearing from designers and their clients that they're really trying to find products that do contribute to a healthier environment, especially when it comes to healthcare. And, if we can use that phrase, now more than ever, these things are becoming very, very important for designers. So I really am thankful for you to chat about this with us.
Yeah, and just to add to what you're saying, our position paper that I sent you is 4 pages long, but one nice thing that the backup information, the references that we have on that, are also easily sourceable as well. So anyone who's listening to the program today can get that document and have some backup.
Got it.
Our 4 pages are really our conclusions based on that research.
And if they want to go down the rabbit hole, they can.
Yeah, exactly. Don't ask for
it. Exactly. So let's chat a little bit about Shaw as a company, because you're doing some cool things. I do want to mention to all of our designers out there, these products that we were talking to do have vinyl in them, but Shaw has a line of PVC-free resilience, which is pretty revolutionary, and I highly recommend them. So definitely reach out for those samples. But can we talk a little bit about the way you guys do stuff? Because you're one of the first cradle to cradle certified companies in the carpet industry, which is amazing. You also, I see, you're carbon neutral with your manufacturing. Tell me more about that.
So all of our commercial manufacturing sites are carbon neutral. So we're actually sourcing those credits in that carbon market and purchasing those to enhance our other efforts about water, about emissions, and the types of products that we're manufacturing in those facilities. So we've closed the gap with that, with those carbon offsets.
Awesome. Yeah, one of the things I love most about the Cradle to Cradle certification is that it looks at those 5 criteria, not just material health, but also how a product can be reused, the energy that it goes into making it, and the water that goes into making it, and how they treat their employees. So it's like a mini like EPD wrapped up in one certification. And I do love that you have to recertify and show progress. So this is something you guys have been working on for like, what, 20 years?
Yeah. That's the hard part is going back and saying, we're not just resting on our laurels, but what is more like, well, what have you done lately?
Exactly.
So we're constantly trying to innovate or find ways to innovate. And I think that's one of the things, while it doesn't necessarily relate to cradle, we've taken that methodology, even with our sheet goods and things, like in the early years of us offering those products, the phthalate question came out, the red list. We've slowly been eliminating them. Then we were using ortho phthalates, which is the plasticizers that make things soft. We've eliminated that, and now we're constantly looking for ways to improve the product. And I think had companies like ourselves, and there are others, hadn't got really involved in this segment, it'd be little. I don't know if we'd be in the same place. And with the introduction of PVC products, I mean, it takes a tremendous investment and a tremendous commitment to introduce and stand behind those products while they get a foothold. But we're finding more and more in the healthcare environment, they're stepping up and using those products as well.
I love it. That's great to hear. Well, designers, I am so excited. If you have any questions for Don, as you can tell, he's a great resource. So chat those in if you've got them. You can also head to our website and get samples immediately if you need immediate satisfaction. That's always a great option. I'm sure, Don, you're just very excited to send out samples from your home there.
Yeah. And one of the things that I will add to that when we're talking about samples is our thought process, our methodology is, while you might see other manufacturers have a color collection of 50 or 60 colors, everything that you'll see in our collection, whether you're looking at an architect folder or looking at it online, we stock every one of those colors. It's U.S. stock. We have 80 million square feet of commercial products in stock in Georgia as we speak. We've got, of that, around 10 million square feet of resilient products. So you can have confidence that we're going to have product ready to go and not be waiting, especially in this environment where we've already got hiccups with distribution, just people resources getting things from one end of the country to the other. Yeah.
Now, I know your carpet is made in Georgia. Is the resilient made there as well?
We have several products that are made in North Georgia. Ringgold is where our manufacturing plant is. We manufacture some of our floating click products, as well as some of our glue down LVT. Our primary sources, though, are South Korea, and we bring some things in from Europe. I guess this is probably a good time to let people know as well that we anticipate that the tariffs will be back in place for Chinese manufactured goods by the middle of next month.
Oh, wow.
So expect to see if products, especially click products, pricing is going to be jumping up after shipments in mid-August. So
wow.
Just another current situation we're dealing with.
Yep. But it's good to have you to know these things so that we don't have to remember all of them. We can just reach out to you, John, and we'll know you've got the best information.
I forget a lot of other things, but I seem to retain all these other.
Right? I love it. Well, thanks so much, designers. If you want to register for another snack break, you can smash that register now button. But in the meantime, Don, it was great to chat with you. So great to see you.
Really appreciate it.
And hopefully we'll be able to come out of our homes and see each other in person again soon.
That is the dream we're looking forward to.
Exactly. All right. We'll see you later. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.